Good morning, world. There are a number of things that come up repeatedly with clients and group coaching people and just people in general that I'm talking to about chronic fatigue syndrome and similar illnesses. And one of them is this, that it's so easy when we already feel totally annihilated all the time to think that we're always getting worse. But many things that we think are us getting worse are normal things that normal healthy people would get. It's just then our thoughts get on the bandwagon, and then we start triggering upsetting our nervous system and upsetting our adrenals, and we then, with the thoughts, the worry, the anxiety, make ourselves much worse. Look at this beautiful dog. Look at her there, watching the world. So I wonder what she is watching. Maybe there's a bird. Hey sweetie, what is it? Anyway, dog distraction's always a nice distraction, isn't it? So there are many things that aren't normal to be experiencing, and it's important, like really important actually, to try not to allow our thoughts to take us away with this big scenario of how we're getting worse, and actually to make a note of these things as well. So for instance, what I mean is when you are about to have your period, or maybe when you are having or have just had, it depends on the person, you are going to be much more tired, much more emotional, much more achy. Every symptom you feel of chronic fatigue syndrome is probably going to feel worse. So that is normal. So it would be worth writing that down, for have a little list of things that are normal things that any person that is completely healthy, which is not many people on the planet anyway, but any person that is completely and utterly healthy would feel a bit rubbish in those times. So that would also apply for many people. Many people are very much affected by the moon and the full moon and things like that. So it's also worth keeping track of that and noticing, I always feel worse on these couple of days of the month. You may feel worse when you've just ovulated because your body hasn't made a baby, and often, and I've noticed this myself, there can be a little bit of depression then, because the body hasn't done what it naturally is thinking it should be doing then. You will feel worse if there are a lot of viruses going around, and maybe you haven't got it full blown, but it's likely that you'll have it a little bit. If a lot of people around you have it, you will feel worse if you did manage to get out and about and did go to the doctors or the family gathering or whatever it is, not because you overexerted yourself, because you're unfit. And this is really important, and a different way of looking at it. It's not because you've done too much usually, it's because you're not fit, you don't do those things anymore. So you are going to feel worse if there's colds, there's flus, there's periods, there's full moons, there's no making babies, there's unfitness. You're going to feel worse in those times. And if we remember, this is normal, this is being a human, and we let it go, it will pass really quickly. The problem is when we already feel, like I said, completely annihilated all the time, it's so easy to get into this negative thought pattern of, oh no, I'm worse, what did I do, I shouldn't have done that, I mustn't do that again, shouldn't have spoken to them, I got upset, I did this, I did that, I did the other. And that whole train of thoughts that then keeps recycling is what keeps us stuck and actually makes us feel much, much worse. So if we can get into a habit of asking better questions, is this normal? Have I done something normal that normal healthy people would be doing? It would feel, a bit flawed from. Then we pass through it. We pass through it like those normal healthy people would. Yes, they might be a bit achy for overexerting themselves. Yes, they might be a bit tired from the virus. Yes, they might feel a bit rubbish because of their period, whatever it is. So try and remember that I know that you are chronically ill, but you're also a normal human being too. And normal human beings do feel tired, achy, have other symptoms going on from time to time, but because they don't have a chronic illness, it's not labelled with that and then labelled with, I must be getting worse. So when we remember that, when we can try to remember that, we don't fuel the very thing that we're worried about happening. So that's my sharing for today. And the dogs, probably can't see them in the distance, and I'll speak to you soon. Ciao.